Today we will cover the main story of Blasphemous 2. Welcome to cinematic gameplay. The game opens with Chrysanta opening a door to a sanctuary where it is revealed that she has been wounded and bleeding. She slumps down in defeat and plunges her own sword through herself. The killer is shown to be a penitent, a man named Eterno who sits on the throne and waits. Outside, the citizens of Custodia bear witness to a great heart that descends from the clouds. They are witnessing the birth of a child brought on by the miracle. At the same time, the Penitent One awakens from his slumber, having been given life once again by the miracle. As the Penitent One begins his first steps, he encounters an enemy called the Faceless One. The Penitent One defeats this foe and continues on his journey. As he leaves the tomb, a woman who is glowing and holding the eternal scroll appears to the Penitent One. She introduces herself as Annunciata and that she descended from the heavenly mountains to be his guide on his journey. She reveals to the Penitent One that the miracle will give birth to a child that is in the Great Heart and that he must stop its birth. She also tells him of the Archon fraternity that guards the Great Heart and the birth of the child. She reveals the members of this group as Oro Spina, Benedicta, Odin, Lesmes, and their leader Eterno. She instructs the Penitent One to defeat the Guardians of the Great Heart to reveal the three great regrets of the sculpted figures holding up the city where the Great Heart presides. The Penitent One hurries on to find the Guardians of the Great Heart and passes through the city of the Blessed Name where he meets the Master Sculptor who will make wooden figures for the altarpieces for the Penitent One to strengthen him on his journey. The Penitent One traveled to the Palace of Embroideries where Oro Spina, Lady Embroiderer, the first of the Guardians, was waiting. While exploring the Palace of Embroideries, he encounters Castula and Tryphon, two old siblings where only one of them is alive and the other a skeleton at a given time. The Penitent One cuts down a cocoon of gold to access the main chamber of Oro Spina where a great battle commences. The Penitent One was able to defeat Oro Spina and was then given a flashback to one of the great regrets. It is revealed that a couple, who were not able to bear a child, entrusted themselves to the miracle to give them a child even though during this time, the miracle had long been believed to have stopped. After this revelation, the sculpted figures began to descend. Annunciata appears before the Penitent One to tell him that it is the first part of the testimonies of the birth and encourages him to press on with his task. The Penitent One continues on toward the sacred entombments. After managing to remove the sands that block the passages deeper into the entombment, the Penitent One encounters the great preceptor Radamus. With Radamus's defeat, another one of the great regrets is revealed. The miracle, moved by the couple's humble plea, granted the couple the child they so desired. The sculpted figures once again began to descend, which brought the city of the Great Heart closer. Annunciata once again appears to the Penitent One and tells him that soon, anon the city held by these great figures will soon join with the city of the Blessed Name. She then urges him to find the last guardian. The Penitent One ventured higher into the crown of towers to find the last guardian of the great regret. Here, the Penitent One battles Lesmes and the sleeping Infanta. Even with the numbers against the Penitent One, he was able to slay Lesmes and the sleeping Infanta. With the defeat of Lesmes, the last of the great regrets is revealed. The miracle, having slumbered for so long, made a great mistake by granting the couple a child. The child came out deformed and mutated, having killed his mother at his birth, spreading deformity wherever it may go. With that, the city Anon, where the Great Heart resides, descended. Annunciata appears and urges on the Penitent One on his journey. The Penitent One then traveled to the elevated temples and found the body of the witness. He entered into a dream state and met with the witness, who told him that in order to reach the heart, the Penitent One must free the narrative voice of the witness. 5 testimonies of the witness whose keys were stolen. The witness sets the Penitent One to find these keys. The Penitent One then traveled deep below the city of the blessed name into the Mother of Mothers and encountered Aphalor, Sentinel of the Emery. With its defeat, the Penitent One was able to obtain one of the keys that frees one of the doves, signifying the testimonies of the witness. Just then, a ghostly structure appears in the middle of the crown of towers, urging the Penitent One to go there. The Penitent One arrives at the ghostly structure, which is called Basilica of Absent Faces. He went onto the top of the basilica to face another member of the Archon fraternity, Benedicta of the Endless Origin. With her defeat, the Penitent One acquires another key to free one of the doves, signifying the testimonies of the witness. He then enters into the dream state and talks with the witness, who reveals that the miracle was to create a new icon for everyone in Custodia to worship so that the miracle would regain its strength. The Penitent awakens from the dream as a large cathedral emerges from the sea. The Penitent One arrives at the sunken cathedral, searching for the other keys to the witness's testimony. Here, he encounters Odin of the Confraternity of the Salt. After defeating Odin, the Penitent One receives another key to free one of the doves, signifying the testimonies of the witness. The witness appears and explains another of his testimonies. The miracle tried to make an icon to worship it by the people, but due to its lack of strength, it was only able to create an icon of deformity, disease and pain that spread throughout the land of Custodia. As the testimony finishes, an upside-down tower where candle wax and fire burns falls from its place to the caverns. The Penitent One travels to the caverns and arrives at the severed tower. After traveling towards the heart of the tower, it is here that the Penitent One encounters Synodo, him of the Thousand Voices, a captor to one of the keys of the witness. After a hard battle, the Penitent One regained one of the keys to the testimonies of the witness. The witness revealed that because of the miracle's disease, the innocent people of Custodia, looking for a glimmer of hope in the desolation of the disease, unwittingly fed their faith to the miracle, which gave it enough strength to create the great heart in the clouds, where in the wondrous presence of the heart, the people worshipped it and made the miracle stronger. As the witness finished the testimony, a great castle appeared on top of a hill overlooking a lake. The Penitent One then heads for the castle to look for the last key to the testimony of the witness. He then arrives at the castle, which is called Two Moons. The Penitent One finds a room where he can travel between an alternate form of the castle reflected in the water. He finds the chamber of Sona, Formosa Fembra, who holds the last of the keys. After a hard battle, the Penitent One was victorious in regaining the lost key of the witness. With the last of the keys opening the cage of the last dove, the Penitent One would gain access to the door of the Great Heart. The witness bids farewell to the Penitent One as the last of the doves flies from its cage. Annunciata appears and tells the Penitent One to hurry as the time draws near to its end as the heart is nearing its birth. Without delay, the Penitent One heads back to the Chapel of the Five Doves and finds the door that leads to the Great Heart open. He then entered into the sanctuary just below the Great Heart and finds Eviternal, last desecrator, sitting upon a throne. He reveals that waiting has been his penance, and that the miracle has appointed him first among the penitents. The Penitent One and Eviternal clash in a battle among penitents. The Penitent One emerges victorious and plunges Chrysanta's sword into Eviternal, killing him instantly. The Penitent One briefly mourns the death of Chrysanta, laying her sword to the cherubs as a last gesture to honor her and let have her peace. Just then the Great Heart begins to palpitate, until it bursts open to reveal the child of the miracle bathed in blood and gold. Annunciata appears before the Penitent One and announces that the child is born and that the work of the High Dramatist commences. In haste, the Penitent One ascends to confront the child of the miracle in the clouds. At last, the Penitent One comes face to face with the child of the miracle, declaring itself as the heir to the higher wills, that it is devotion itself made in physical form. It then mocks the Penitent One of how insignificant he is compared to the purpose of the child of the miracle. The child of the miracle engages the Penitent One in battle. The Penitent One has succeeded in bringing down the child of the miracle, Devotion Incarnate. As Devotion Incarnate kneeled in defeat, it tells the Penitent One that it understood the mystery of its birth and that its punishment is the Penitent One's sole legacy to the world. The Devotion Incarnate perished, having drawn its last breath as the Penitent One kneels exhausted as the heavens opened up before him. The Penitent One then ascends both in body and soul to the holiest places, to the cradle of all blessing, safe under the watchful eyes of the divine. The penitence is now complete. Please like and subscribe to Cinematic Gameplay, as it will really help us a lot.